Good evening. My name is Paul Weirson, and I'll be happy to be serving as your MC tonight. John Burnett Larkin is on tour in France, in Normandy, with members of the Iowa State Band, and he'll be back in due course. And I know that John is an icon and owns this microphone, so I feel like someone trying to play and pretend that I'm Roy Rogers or something. But glad to be here, and thank you for being with us for our first concert of the season. We're looking forward to a terrific season, and as a reminder, the Ames Municipal Band will be performing right here on stage every Thursday in June and July. We're so glad you could join us tonight on this beautiful evening, just the right temperature and no wind. We got things underway tonight with the Heart of Iowa Senior Band, directed by Don Dobell. Let's hear it again for them. They did a great job. Don, stand up. And tonight we feature a veteran guest vocalist for another appearance with the band, performing a medley from a singer who recently had a special anniversary, and a medley from a musical that also is celebrating a special anniversary. Right now, let's greet the people who are ready to begin the season with terrific music, the members of your Ames Municipal Band. And now introducing the director of the Ames Municipal Band, the Arthur Fiedler of Ames, Dr. Michael Galimo. And now we introduce tonight's guest vocal soloist, no stranger to Municipal Band fans, presenting James Teener. And now we ask you to please stand if you're able. Remove your hats. Now, veterans, you may leave your hat on and perform a salute tonight. Join us and join James Teener and the band for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, folks, our first selection could be classified as a theatrical concert march. From the composer Eric Osterling, this composition featured a singing melody, full scoring, and a strong beat, which are the hallmarks of Osterling's marches. Our opening number here tonight was a concert march called Mustang. Now we're headed for a trip to Vienna for a rendezvous with some lighter classical music from the composer Franz von Suppé. Von Suppé, a composer and conductor in the 19th century, and he wrote many operettas, with the most famous being the Light Cavalry Overture. Tonight's selection, Morning, Noon, and Night in Vienna, was composed in 1844 and was the central subject in a Bugs Bunny cartoon called Baton Bunny. Featuring lyrical melodies and powerful brass, here is Morning, Noon, and Night in Vienna. Wow. Well, what better thing is there on a Thursday night as beautiful as this to be at Bandshell Park? And again, this year you can eat here too. We have a concession over here, and it's Jack's from Nevada. We have smoked hot dogs, donuts, and all that good food that keeps body and soul together. So make sure that you stop at Jack's before you leave tonight. You know, the Jersey Boys, the Broadway musical, has had 2 runs here in Iowa, and I have friends in Des Moines who got to know the cast real well, and those folks loved coming to Iowa, and they stayed as long as they could. We're very fortunate to have 2 great venues for touring Broadway shows here in central Iowa, the Civic Center in Des Moines and Stevens Auditorium here in Ames. So you can live here and see all the great shows on tour. Now, the Broadway hit Jersey Boys recently celebrated its 10th anniversary, and it's a jukebox musical that depicts the formation, success, and the eventual breakup of the 1960s rock and roll group, the Four Seasons. The musical is currently on a tour of 19 cities, and it's interesting to note that a Japanese production opens next month in Tokyo, starring Akinori Nagakawa. Sounds like a kamikaze pilot. Won't that be interesting? Featuring tunes from the show including Walk Like a Man, Big Girls Don't Cry, Ragdoll, December 1963, and Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. You're going to remember all these songs from your youth. Here are highlights from the Jersey Boys. And now, celebrating 50 years from their opening on Broadway, the music from Man of La Mancha is still fresh, yet legendary. Based on the Cervantes classic Don Quixote, it was fashioned into one of the most successful musical plays of all time, Man of La Mancha. The musical has a distinctively Spanish style, and this arrangement features hits from the show, including Little Bird, Dulcinea, Man of La Mancha, and the unforgettable The Impossible Dream. Our vocal soloist this evening is a senior lecturer at Iowa State University, where he teaches voice. He's a graduate of the University of Iowa and has a Master of Divinity degree from Yale University. He served for many years as director of music at St. John's Episcopal Church in Ames, and he's well known as a vocal performer throughout Iowa. Singing selections from Man of La Mancha, let's welcome James Teener, performing with the Ames Municipal Band.
Getting old, gotta have my water. Little bird in the cinnamon tree. Little bird, do you sing for me? Do you bring me word of one I know? Little bird, I love her so. Little bird, I have to know. Little bird, beneath this tree, this cinnamon tree, we learn to love, we learn to cry, for here we met, and here we kissed, and here one cold and moonless night we said goodbye. Little bird, please fly, please go. Little bird, and tell her so. Little bird, little I have dreamed thee too long, never seen thee or touched thee, but known thee with all of my heart. Half a prayer, half a song, thou hast always been with me, but we have been always apart. Dulcinea, Dulcinea, I see heaven when I see thee, Dulcinea. name is like a prayer an angel whispers. Dulcinea, Dulcinea. Hear me now, O thou bleak and unbearable world. Thou art base and debauched as can be, and a knight with his banners all bravely unfurled now hurls down his gauntlet to thee. I am Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha. My destiny calls and I go. I will march to the sound of the trumpets of glory, forever to conquer or die. Of fortune will carry me onward, oh, whithersoever they blow. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Now we'd like to express our thanks to Ames Channel 12, your key to the city, for their broadcasts of your Ames Municipal Band, on demand with the City of Ames website, and now also available for mobile devices, and scheduled television broadcasts with tonight's concert available for viewing at 11 p.m. tonight, tomorrow at 9 a.m., and at 7 p.m. on Channel 12. And we thank also News Talk 1430 KSI, our radio partner throughout the years, recording tonight and rebroadcast Sunday morning at 9 a.m. this very concert. So tune in to 1430 Sunday morning at 9. Cole Porter, interesting guy, raconteur, world traveler, author of music that's really the narrative of the 30s and 40s and the mid-20th century. Great creative man, great composer of songs and lyrics. He gave us the musical Kiss Me, Kate. And Cole was injured in a horse riding accident that really crippled him in pain for the remainder of his life. And yet, he toured all the military installations during World War II and was always a giver to the world of entertainment and music. Now, composed by Cole Porter in 1932, Night and Day is perhaps Porter's most important contribution to the great American songbook. Fred Astaire introduced Night and Day on stage, and his recording became a #1 hit. The song was so associated with Porter that when they filmed his life story in 1946, the title of the movie was Night and Day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Frank Sinatra was a man who was bigger than life. He could be fussy and difficult, but if you heard about a boy in New Jersey who needed an iron lung, he'd write a check right now. And he did more benefits than any performer, and with his clout as chairman of the board, he got a lot of great stars to be in those benefits. His valet shined the soles of his shoes as well as the top. A fastidious man who showered and changed clothes 4 times a day and never slept very much. But our great legacy from Frank is his wonderful performance as an artist, especially in the albums he collaborated with the Nelson Riddle Orchestra in the late 50s and 60s, then the early 60s. These are masterpieces, and Frank is a great singer, way beyond a saloon singer. He's a major figure in the entertainment world forever. And a great medley comes your way now of tunes made famous by old Blue Eyes, old Frank Sinatra. You might know that this past December would have been Frank's 100th birthday. Hope you sent a card. Featuring tunes tonight in this medley, New York, New York. It was a very good year. The Lady is a Tramp, and My Way. Here's your Ames Municipal Band with vocalist James Teener with Sinatra in Concert.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. That doesn't sleep to find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York if I can. When I was 17, it was a very good year. It was a very good year for small town girls and soft summer nights. We'd hide from the lights on the village green when I was 17. But now the days grow short. I'm in the autumn of the year, and now I think of my life as vintage wine from fine old kegs. From the brim to the dregs, it poured sweet and clear. It was a very good year. And so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, for which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exception. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. No, not me. I did it my
The famous march composer Carl King served as the conductor of the Fort Dodge Municipal Band for 51 years. That band is now called the Carl King Band. Carl King led several circus bands and is known as the composer of the famous march, Barnum and Bailey's Favorite. Our next selection was composed by King in 1919 and is not truly a march, but is more in the ragtime or perhaps Dixieland style. Sit back now and enjoy Carl King's Broadway One-Step March. Well, ladies and gentlemen, World War II was perhaps the most significant event ever to happen in 6 years. There were 500 million people, 50 million people who were killed. We had 16 million in uniform, men and women, from the United States who fought all over the world, and 400,000 didn't come back. Now, this past Monday, Ames Municipal Band performed for the Memorial Day services at the Ames Municipal Cemetery, and joining them were students from the Iowa State Marching Band who are now performing for ceremonies recognizing the anniversary on D-Day in Normandy, France. This morning, 170 Iowa State Marching Band members departed Ames for this week-long trip, which will include performances at the American cemeteries in Normandy. Iowa State was the only band selected by our military to perform for this event, and we are proud of their accomplishment. And with all what we know of World War II, and some of us remember that era, and the anniversary date of the June 6th invasion approaching us, we'd like to recognize this event with a medley of selections from World War II era and dedicated to the members of our military, our veterans, and their families. Here is the Home Front, musical memories from World War II. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you can be with us next week when our concert will feature vocalist Kirsten Tipping, and our pre-show entertainment will be the Collegiate Brass, and it'll be Flag Day, and we'll have that wonderful ceremony with the Boy Scouts and the flags. Henry Fillmore was a contemporary of the march composers Carl King, Edwin Franco Goldman, and John Philip Sousa. Fillmore composed the march Men of Ohio in 1921, and in 1923, Fillmore conducted the march at a convention with President Warren G. Harding in attendance. He remarked, "Henry, that is a great march." It is one of the snappiest pieces ever heard, and bands will be playing it long after you and I are gone. Here is Henry Fillmore's Happy March, Men of Ohio. Dr. Mike Galimo and the Ames Municipal Band.